Hello, this is the Gator again. We'll give you a short book review. I didn't care for this book too much, but I'm a statesman, nor am I a Chinese bureaucrat. But the book is called Statecraft by Dennis Ross. Statecraft and how to restore America's standing in the world. I guess everybody thinks we should just give everybody money or bomb the crap out of them, and that ain't right. Either end. Me myself, I think what we need to do to restore America's standing in the world is, for the most part, unless it's an ally, stay out of other people's business and quit giving aid to countries who burn our flag and celebrate when an American dies. We have to draw a decisive line in the sand. Now, we did that with Trump. And yeah, a lot of countries, didn't like what we done. A lot of countries did. It reestablished us as a free nation under Donald Trump. This kind of garbage, and I shouldn't call it that. There's some good parts to it. But to me, it seems to swing of liberalism a little hard. And I'm not exactly what you call liberal. But there again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. We know what's proven fact to work now because Donald Trump did it. He set the mold, but who's got the balls to back it up? Donald Trump's policies were a huge success until COVID hit America, and that's why they did that. This is China's disease, and we need to check them. We need to be costing them trillions of dollars a year right now. I don't think that it's right to reward a country for harming fellow Americans. But enough of that. I was watching the news the other day, and they had a guy that they just couldn't take their camera off of. He was in buckskin clothing with horns on his head and his face painted. And they didn't put him in the psych ward. And he was one of the rioters at D.C. The rioters were BLM and Antifa. They've reported it. They've showed pictures of it. They were there. They were leading the attack, trying to get people whipped up so that somebody would have to call down martial law. Congress would be going into an emergency session. So we need to be careful who we back. But on a positive note, there are, in the music world, there is some great music coming out right now with some absolutely wonderful artists. I think it's going to be a phenomenal year for music, with or without COVID. I think that the longer this COVID thing goes on, the more of the bunt China's going to feel, and they should. In fact, they've got the guy who created this virus now. And I have not heard whether they've done anything to him about this or not. But we need to contact Joe Biden, tell him to up the ante. Take people on disability, get them housed. And I don't mean Metro, I don't mean Section 8, I mean let them buy houses. I remember when we allowed certain groups of people around the United States to buy homes for $1. For $1. Look it up on the internet, it'll blow your mind. Look up Dayton, Ohio. The only reason she don't want to do it is because she don't want all the white boys that are looking for work moving back to Dayton, Ohio, because she's a fascist. And that's just the plain and simple facts of Dayton, Ohio right now. I mean, it's bad. West Dayton's a lot better than East Dayton, believe it or not. But they've dumped millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into West Dayton. They haven't put nothing into East Dayton yet. Central Dayton gets all the money, which is understandable because that's where the businesses and everything are. I mean, I get that, but there needs to be some give and take on both sides here. And there needs to be some definite I would put out a time frame for people to go that are illegal and apply to pay taxes and back taxes and work a job and get off our system, repay all the money that they took out of our system. I think that's fair. Everybody I talk to says that's absolutely fair. Plus, it lets them stay here if they want to. It's humane. And they also would be required to learn English and speak English. This is an English speaking country. English is the language of America. So, end of story. Also, there's a lot of land around America. Another way that they can help people that are disabled with certain types of disabilities, help them start a small farm so that they can give back to the community just above cost. That way they're still making a profit enough to pay their bills and stuff and live on comfortably while they run a small farm and give back to the community. See, these are just ideas that we need to throw out to Biden, get him to sign off on them. And Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia should be where it all starts. The only reason I didn't say Pennsylvania, I love my people in Pennsylvania, but your government pissed me off, so I'm not on y'all right now. Nothing against y'all, wish y'all the best, but change your government. But anyway, yeah, there's so many things we could be doing in this country right now. I mean, fracking, if it's done properly and carefully, there's nothing wrong with it. And it does keep the cost of living at bay. We need to get the cost of living actually brought down. I mean, we got people going solar. That's taken a lot of the stress off of our grids, our power grids across the nation. A lot of stress. So a lot of people in them old homes, they should be going solar. I think that there should be a nationwide carry law for self-defense only or sporting, And when I say sporting, I mean like going to a range, if there's competition or something, doing stuff like that, nothing to hurt anybody. At least not no intentions, what I'm saying. But also, you gotta remember fishing season's coming up. And I recently found out you can buy a lifetime fishing license. I don't think it's worth it to me now because when you hit 60, I believe it is, you get it for free. Hopefully that stays in effect. Um, Also, these trailer parks and trailer courts and the ghettos and homes that need to be refabbed. Like if you're in a trailer park, they need to look at what the trailer park's charging for lot fees and maintenance and stuff and cut that by over half because a lot of them have just gotten greedy. Section 8, we all know, Section 8 is totally out of hand right now, which has allowed everybody to take a house that you normally rent for $400, $500, $600. Now they want $1,800 for the damn thing. That's bullshit. Um, they need to land on that right now. Also, you know, we need better transportation for our children to school. Now, me myself don't have kids, but I can sympathize with parents that have 4 or 5 kids and they need help getting their children to school. So we need a better transportation system. Not, you know, and I'm not knocking the bus line. I'm saying we need better buses, a little bigger buses, a lot safer buses. Um, I also feel that RTA workers need to be making more money, and Joe Biden needs to work. If you really want to do some green peace stuff, Joe, here's an idea, just an idea for you, and I'm being dead serious. Put in that rail that Trump and Obama failed to put in. Put in that high speed rail for the train and keep the cost down to nothing. It shouldn't cost no more than $40 to get from Ohio to California. And it shouldn't take no more than 8 hours to get there on high speed rail. I mean, think about it. Think about people wouldn't have to take planes no more. This thing's ran off of solar power, electricity. Um, People would be taking this and renting cars out there, or people out there be taking them and renting cars out here. But it would stop a lot of the back and forth with the cars, which cuts down emissions tremendously. It's ideas like that that we need to be, you know, putting into place to help not only ourselves but our environment. We need to replenish the grouse, pheasant, and quail in northern Ohio and southern Ohio, especially. There's none here. So we need to come up with a program, Mr. DeWine and Mr. Biden and Kamala Harris, to help those animals make a huge comeback fast. And farms, we have the land to do it. We have the ability to do it. Let's do it. Also, let's replenish some deer. Let's replenish a lot of things. You know, let's get some people in here. You know, the people in South America are being killed and attacked because of their skin color. You know, they're white people and they're being killed because of that. And now South Africa's running out of food. But here's my thing: anyone of them that want to come over here and farm, I will let them come over here. I would give them a medium-sized farm, and I would let them work it off, their debt off to the American people. It might take 2 or 3 generations, but it would be signed to the family, and they would all be responsible for generations to come, and they would be helping the American people out. We need to start building back up our storage bank of food as well, and stop giving it to Africa. I heard something so appalling the other day about Africa, it made me ill. They said that they literally sit there and we bring them food seed to plant and everything. They don't plant no food seed. They sit there, the men do, on the docks, starving to death, waiting on the ship to roll up with all the rice and the meat and the beef and all that America sends them, along with money aid, and the warlords get that. We need to cut all that out. We need to cut all that out. They've got seeds over there that they can plant their own food. They got animals and game over there where they can hunt. We should not be contributing to the problem. Now, with respect to our nation. We need to be a lot more cautious about who we call ally. Israel is our ally. Yes. I do believe Japan is our ally. But Joe Biden is laying on Japan about that nuclear spill that they've never, ever, ever fixed, as far as I've heard, when they had that earthquake that last time. It's spewing some kind of radioactive chemicals into the ocean and killing and infecting many, many fish. And they need to stop that and clean that up now. And not China, but Japan should be held liable for that. If y'all like what I'm saying, please let me know. Please write your congressman, sound off on what I'm saying, get active, and don't forget about the grants. The grants should be much, 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 much easier for people with disabilities to get, and for students coming out of school to get into school to begin with, but they should be held accountable for their debt. I'm sorry, but now the grant system should be held for American people only that are trying to get into home ownership, and the house might need some work done to it or whatever. They should help out with that, because that adds another independent person that's taking up a house that was going to be torn down. It's saving money. It's adding a taxpayer and putting somebody back to work. That's paying taxes, even if they're on disability. Okay? Now, if you add that up, that's a win-win combination. Plus, it adds more jobs in the long run, because they have to hire more people to go into these houses, gut the bathrooms, put in all new bathrooms, gut the kitchen, put in all new kitchen, rotor every drain in the place out, whether it's in a trailer or whether it's in the hood. Straighten these trailers out, make them more energy efficient. And that's what's going to save our energy grid. Plus, a lot of people are going solar. And if you're in an older home in the hood with a privacy fence, you should go solar. I'm sorry, you should. It's a win-win. They're paying you $2,000 to do it, and then you have a very small electric bill at the end of the month. And if you go over, because it's like summertime or whatever, from my understanding, you could make very good money. Now, there's some stuff in homesteading that I will bring up in another segment that will blow your mind on what people can make really good money on. Really good money on, to have a small homestead. And I think that the Small Homestead Act ought to be carried over into Ohio and West Virginia, Detroit, or not Detroit, but up into Michigan. And that brings up another subject that's kind of touchy, but I'll hit on it later. For right now, this is Gator signing off. Peace, love, unity. Keep the peace. Don't lash out at nobody. If you can't say something nice, don't say it at all. That's my advice. And I know I need to take my own advice. So there you go. God bless you. Take care. Love y'all. Please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. Thank you very much. Adios.